Good evening, fellow Christians and Minecraft players. I thought before I start I would show you that the end was just fine. I had an extra one back in storage. Now back to the topic at hand. Be able to create an army with skeletons. Yes, I'll get to Clonecraft in a little. It's 1.7.10 version mod. But anyway, you can either create the smaller skeletons, which have a few benefits. They can just be a little faster than their adult counterparts. All it requires to make them is bones and milk. Now this is an Overlord seal. It's rather simple to make. Just a couple nuggets. This stamp will do just fine as far as claiming skeletons, but it's only a one-time use for some reason. And the seal, you can use it as many times as you want. The squad editor, you can just use to put a name here. Bravo's alright, I suppose. And you probably saw this part. Give it a moment. There we go. That way you can tell which skeleton belongs where, if you have a certain company or group for a certain place. In this, you just simply collect milk in a bottle like you would in a bucket. Overlord's crown, yeah, I never saw much purpose in it. Anyway, the rallying horn is rather useful for when your skeletons get distracted. They have the essentially same AI and IQ as the regular, Minecraft skeletons. Right click and voila, even skeletons from other parts of the world, presumably same dimension, will appear right next to you. And as for the actual bigger skeleton maker, might as well show you the recipes for both. First you have to make this one, and it'll take any stone as my just enough items is showing. And then it requires the same baby skeleton maker to upgrade to the next one. Now this one has some extra to it. Not only can you add more bones, but you can also actually add some special items for, benefits that they wouldn't otherwise have. Golden apples, as you probably guessed, will add some healing. And another thing, you've probably noticed this little icon here and wonder what it's for. Well, I'll explain two things at once. The keychains here, if you shift and right click a skeleton, you can actually attach him to a keychain. And doing about the same, just right clicking on any block will do the opposite. And as you can see, the skin suits, as they're called, make them look like there's something else besides, a skeleton. Now personally, I don't like or care to make either one of those, but anyway, they still sound like a skeleton in any case. Now I figured out a cheat way to actually be able to add the apples in there. You see, normally they only let you put one at a time for whatever reason, but if you use hoppers, you can actually cheat out of that way, a loophole. And another thing, the speedy hoppers don't seem to work completely with these, but as you can probably guess, the regular hoppers are just fine. And another thing, since you'll be needing bones, you can actually use this standalone mod, a deconstruction table, to actually make bones for you. whenever you have just too much bone meal from your bone chickens. And yeah, I could have a couple other mods on, but anyway. But if that seems a little slow for you, you could try using Uncrafted to make a skeleton, a couple of skeleton spawners. That comes from the mob grinding utils. I'll probably get to that later. But anyway. Oh. And I'm sorry for the volume issues I've been having. You see, it can hear the computer better than me. And that's been a small issue. I've been trying to keep the volume down on the computer. But anyway. Another thing. You can have these guys stationed, following you, or just wandering around the area. Now, if you want them staying in one spot, go ahead and have them stationed. But if they have a sword and they're stationed, they won't be able to attack anyone. If they're, say, following you, they'll be able to attack, or if they're wandering around. See what I mean? He was the only one that attacked. Now, if you have a bunch of them clustered all together with bows, that won't work so well. They'll be hitting each other. And another thing, I figured out that they have trouble with any kind of bows that, like Tinker's Construct, and they can't effectively use a gun of any kind. Their AI is just not prepared for that. They'll just use any kind of bow or gun that they're not used to, like a club, which ain't the most effective use, to say the least. And now they can actually absorb XP off the ground or from your mob grind or wherever, and that'll increase their health. That way they can actually get more health than you or pretty much most anything around. But around level 9 or 10, it becomes way harder to actually give them any XP. And another thing that's actually useful, gives them some benefit over most other army mods. I don't... Well, you can't give the baby ones any XP that way or anything. There's actually a couple of achievements about that, but as you can tell, it allows you to give them XP by just drinking milk. Who would have thought that? Well, okay, that seems to be everything I can think of for the Overlord mod. The next thing will actually be Clonecraft. Hello, I switched to 1.7.10 just to showcase Clonecraft. Now, as you can probably guess, you're gonna clone yourself, but another interesting thing, you can clone anything and everything that you can get close to. And which sounds easy enough, but in some cases, like say bosses, that could be a little more difficult. And yes, I got Deconstruction table again. That way, yeah, and well, you can actually, well, see how to uncraft, well, you can craft just about anything you want, and let's say you don't know a crafting recipe, and you need to know it, and just enough items won't work. That'll actually show you how to do it, and it can show you a number of ways to actually craft or uncraft something. I've gone to creative mode just to do that, for the cases I can't actually do it, but anyway. Another thing, these require a good deal of metal once you get to the point of it, but you left click if you want to clone, say, a zombie or something, but it'll hurt them. And if you're going to actually do it on yourself, you need milk and right click it when you've got the needles. For those of you who have seizures from seeing nausea in Minecraft, you may want to skip ahead or something along those lines, just as a fair warning. Oh, that's right. There we go. Now that you have some human blood, you need to actually separate and put it to where the machines can actually work with it. And this is actually to separate the blood, and voila, I'll give it a moment and it'll actually. Now this is how you make a centrifuge. Now sterilizer, yes, what it's for. It took those dirty needles and it's going to be clean, and you need the lit netherrack or something lit beneath it in order to get it boiled. All you have to do is put some water in there. Just right click as if you're placing water anywhere. And when the water turns red, that means it's way too dirty and you need to use an empty bucket to clean it out. Of course the bucket stays empty though, I don't know how that works, but anyway. And eventually it'll do that. You'll need the needles again once that's done. And these empty eggs, you just take regular eggs, put them in a crafting slot, and take them out that way. See, it's almost done. And you can double click to get all of them, like that. And you need to put them back in the needle and then put them in the eggs. I know it's a bit odd, but it's sort of the way that Minecraft works. Now, when I first created this tower, I had no intention of using lightning at all, as well, using the tower as a lightning rod. Now when you want to use this life inducer, all you need is soul sand, gold, iron, and a chest. And having something hold in lightning can be rather dangerous in real life, but all you do is get some knockback effect, and so I have it rigged up to where hoppers feed into it, and that little line of redstone actually makes sure that whatever you put in there stays in there long enough for it to be, well, useful. You know, I can get real near it now, but since I'm in creative mode, I can quickly right click the antenna and induce lightning. Oh, that's right. One thing you have to be careful of. You have to have enough of the crafted item to correspond to the, well, correct input. If you're going to get 8 of these from a crafting recipe, you need that made input to this table. Now, back to what I was saying. See what I mean? Knockback. And now that they're activated, we can actually let this go, and they'll be in the chest. Okay, yeah, that can get annoying. Left click this to discharge it, and you can get near again as necessary. Oh, that was it. Okay, I had it too close. My mistake. But now you can actually spawn humans. Now, I don't know how this would actually work in real life, but this one's a guy, this one's a girl. If the names weren't a dead giveaway. You can claim the clone, that way they actually listen to you a little more. And this is their inventory, this is yours. And this is their armor slots, this is yours. You can transfer XP to them, but so far I don't think that affects their health. The options. You can turn on a number of things, and that can make them real useful. It can do a number of things that the Overlord skeletons can't do, but the person that actually meant to make this mod didn't seem to complete it, and it seems to be a dead mod. And as you can probably tell, they're gaining health as they're leveling up and, well, growing up, I mean. But anyway, you can send the teams, but you have to be careful. If I were to set him to evil and her to good, they would try and kill each other. So don't do something like that. Now, another thing. When you see the screen, you only have one chance to see it, and after that, for some reason, it won't let you see this again. It'll give a message explaining as much. And you'll probably want to, well, give them a list of mods that you want them to attack or not attack. That seems to be fine. Okay. Now let's try that again. Okay, must have been an improvement of some kind or another. Well, that's right. It was on a different computer. I think it's a matter of a graphics card of whether or not you can go through that again. Now, blocks to break. Okay. Works. Let's see this again. Okay, still works. Things to build. Now, I haven't quite gotten to exploring this, but apparently they can have some kind of schematics that if you gave them, they would actually try and build those with the blocks that they've got. And another interesting thing. Oh, where was the names? Oh, yes, here. Let's say I gave him the name Luke Skywalker from Star Wars. See, the name change actually changed what he looks like. Now, that may not be how actual cloning works, but anyway, it makes it rather interesting. Let's see if I named her Leia. Now, there's supposed to be some pre-programmed skins that are attached to specific names. I'm guessing these are the somewhat less specific skins, but anyway. Now, these clones could be, well, actually carrying more inventory than the Overlord skeletons. It would be nice if I could have both 1.12.2, but sadly this goes about as far as 1.7.10 or 1.8 or so. Now, this would kill them, but I'm not going to do that to them. There are some folks that think that clones don't have souls. I don't know why they would think that. I mean, think of Star Wars and how the clones would be on there. I mean, I would think that if we could actually clone humans, it's somewhat illegal in America. But anyway, if there were clones of humans, I would think that it would be somewhat like Star Wars in that respect. They would have their own personalities and everything. They would be as human as the person they were cloned from. Now, true enough, in a game, that can't be so, but the guy can dream, can he? Anyway, thanks for watching, y'all, and I hope that you enjoy these mods very much. I sure enjoyed them when I get to use them. Thanks for watching, Christians and fellow Minecraft players.